All right, welcome back to the Parkour UK podcast. We have the BENK boys on the formerly couch. Now we got chairs. I preferred the couch, but anyway, we got them involved, and we're going to go around the room and get a brief introduction from these boys, the South London-based parkour team. Before we get into their jam, their event, all that stuff, we're going to go around the room and see what their names are and how they got into our lovely sport. So, fire away, Kai.
Right. Basically, I'm Kai. I'm 24. And I've been training for about 12 years. And I saw a video. I saw one of the Stunts Amazing videos on YouTube. Classics. I saw one of those and I went to my mum. I was like, I want to do this. And she was like, all right. And then she found some classes that were going. And then, 12 years later, here we are. Still going.
Which year was that? Do you know?
Oh, God.
2013.
2013?
Yeah.
Because it probably was 2013 because I think 2012 was that Stunts Amazing video, which is still the one where you type in parkour or free running into YouTube, still comes up with Bart van der Linden doing like a cork.
Bro, that's the one.
That's the one. That video got scores of people into the sport.
Bro, it's sick.
It's nostalgically like burnt into our brains. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, I was researching some YouTube video stuff the other day. I was like, this is still just the number one click. Yourself?
So Jay, my name's Jay. Don't know why I said it like that. My name's Jay, and I've been doing parkour for 12 years as well, same as Kai, so 2013. I actually did parkour a little bit before that, but I wouldn't count that as like my start of training. I had somebody come into my primary school and did like an after school sort of club.
Oh, cool.
Which at the time was probably, we're talking like 2009 maybe. So quite early on. And then, after that term, didn't hear anything about parkour, didn't do any for years. And then the chain store opened and there was like an article in a local magazine that my parents saw and they were like, do you want to go to here? Because I've done parkour before. And then went to the chain store when it opened. I think it was like one of the first classes that ever happened at the chain store. And
so it was East London Parkour Gym.
So Poplar. So it was in Trinity Way Wharf. But yeah, so that's gone now. But 12 years ago.
Wow. And you guys were boys before that?
No. So we met through Parkour Generation classes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dope. Because it feels like you guys have just known each other forever. I mean, I guess it's been a while now.
Yeah.
Cool.
It comes a duo pack.
Yeah. And we've also got obviously James Adam Ward on the podcast. Give us a couple lines of your intro, but we do have a separate podcast with him already.
Yeah. Check that out. I'm James. I'm 26, and I've been training parkour since 2010. So that's 16 years of my life. I got introduced to parkour by a guy called Ramon. I just was literally walking around my local ends, see him do a Kong over a wall, and I was like, bet, can you teach me that? And he was like, yeah. And then we were friends for like a whole year, made a team, met some more people, and then, story goes as it is.
Ah, cool, man, like Ramon. And we got Jake as well. You're probably the youngest BENK member, right? So what's the story there?
So I'm Jake, and my start to parkour was kind of quite vague. Like, I've always been like jumping about and stuff and climbing trees and everything, but I'd say I probably started in the second lockdown, so that's about 4.5 years ago.
Oh, very recent. You guys can kind of just move the mic around as you go as well. You kind of like pull it and yeah.
So I started in the second lockdown, and just found it through YouTube videos. I think it was like Storror, some other random suggested. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, something to do with my hour of exercise in the day.
Okay.
So
it was literally just getting the most out of that like COVID hour was a good way to do it.
I'd go find something to do, pretty much.
Because that's the thing, in the UK you got that hour of exercise and it's like an open air outdoor activity, so people were still training like every day. Pretty much. Oh, that's super cool, man.
Yeah, man.
And how'd you meet these guys?
I think it was one day at IMAX. I just pulled through. Some people were there, added me to a group chat. Bosh, here I am.
Bosh, yeah. Sweet, man. I feel like back then as well, like more people were at IMAX all the time. The first time I went to visit IMAX, we had Klaus, 13-year-old Klaus was there with Seba and Ali, and they just took me around all day. Like I just went to see it as like I wasn't even planning on training, and then we just did like a whole tour and like. Yeah, I've known them for like 10 years because of that.
So that's the same for us. So we knew them at that age as well. So like we've seen like how you had a practice. So before even a practice, we've seen just like Arthur getting into parkour, everybody else, and then them meeting and then obviously Fat being created,
Yeah,
and we've just seen sort of like since Run London, all the different like teams,
All the different
start coming
teams.
and going, yeah.
Exactly, and you guys are like the next one. I think you're like the last London team that we needed to have on the podcast, right? Because we did Run London. Well, we had one member of Run London, and Fem Gaps, of course. So yeah, what is the story behind Bank? How did it all come together?
Well,
What does Bank mean as well?
Well, Benk actually means bench. That's all it means. It just means bench. Is it in German?
No, it's Swedish.
Swedish, okay, yeah. So if you've been to Yard, you know there's a bench there against one of the walls. And for a while, we just used to go there all the time because it's quite local for us.
Yeah, the Yard is the undercover parkour spot that the XXL guys put together that we sort of talk about a lot in this podcast.
Yeah, and so we obviously helped build Yard quite a lot. And we built this bench and we were just there. It was ours, yeah. So yeah, we were just there all the time. You know, our little bum prints are ingrained in it. So like, that's ours, yeah. That's it, yeah.
We kept saying bank, so we'd all be like, oh yeah, we're like just like bank, like we'll go sit on bank, and just kept becoming a thing. And then eventually we just were like, oh, we're like the Bank Boys, and that was literally it. Like we built this little bench, like it's there. We were always the ones to. We were just sat on it, just vibing.
Yeah, I don't think we even coined the term really. I think it was other people. It was people like Andy and Witchell that just sort of, because we helped out as well, build Yard. So we were there with all of them, and it just sort of over time, it was like we gradually just got coined that term, and it just carried on. So yeah.
The Bank Life chose you, mate.
Exactly, yeah. I think that chose us, yeah. We were probably at Yard like every single day from like beginning of the day to the end, like till it gets dark. No matter what the weather was, we were just there for like probably a few months straight, really, like just having fun. Yeah.
So when did you establish like as a team or a collective, and sort of what was the plan there? Because it still feels pretty recent, like 2 years ish to me.
I think it is
2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it? Because maybe it is 2 years, but I know that Yard is turning 3.
Yeah.
This coming month, and for the BENK Jam as well, it's kind of like a tied BENK Jam and 3 years of Yard.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're celebrating both of them. So we're not really officially announced that yet, but that's something that we're going to be saying as well, because Witcher wanted to have a jam for 3 years of Yard, and we were going to have our jam. So we just decided let's just merge them together, and so celebrate both, like have a BENK jam, get everyone together, and celebrate 3 years of Yard.
Yeah, so a big reason for the timing of this podcast is in order to promote the BENK Jam on the 27th of September, because these guys are running like the first like real like all competitions, somewhat like taking it seriously jam we've had in London in quite a while. So I'm quite excited about that. Yeah, but before we get ahead, sort of how did you, I guess, form the collective and like choose the people, and like what was the plan there?
Should we go through chronological order? Let's start right at the beginning, okay? So yeah, 2013, me and Kai started at PKUK classes, and we didn't actually start the same class. We started at different ones, and back then I would say PKUK was probably a lot better in terms of classes. Like now, if you speak to people, like if you listen to the podcast with Lucy and Ollie, they'll talk about how that people get discouraged from training outside. But for us, it wasn't really like that at all. Like we had classes indoors and outdoors.
This is Parkour Generations, who are like a London-based place. They do classes. They had a gym. Now they got like a different, smaller space. They're in multiple countries as well, and a lot of people. They're probably like the number one thing you look up when you search for parkour in London or a lot of places. A lot of people get into the sport through them. But then a lot of the time people find that their style of training is a bit different to how they want to continue the sport, and will like leave it behind. And some people have like mixed reviews of them, just sort of for context.
Yeah, I think it's just like in terms of the different styles of training, it's probably more because they're angled at like actual training is in like physical stuff, which isn't just parkour. So that's where the QM comes into it and everything. Because I'd say that like probably from doing classes, we were like the fittest we ever were.
Oh, we got savaged. We got absolutely savaged.
It did work you hard. It wasn't just like parkour. It was like everything, like lots of different exercise and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of discipline, strength work, because it comes from the old school like style of parkour training, which was developed by the French founders, where like David Bell and those guys who like founded parkour would do like 100,000 sit-ups a day and all this crazy stuff, and like walk on all fours. And I started with a bit of that in France. But yeah, I feel like the modern sort of style of parkour training is a bit different, and they kind of haven't updated to that.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think now it's different, especially because a lot of coaches have gone. But this is a tangent that we can go on to later. So yeah, we started at PK Gen. We did like loads of different classes, and then we eventually met each other. And we did that for a few years before we moved outside. And then we started training outside. Went with a few other people like Arthur, Fob, Orlando, like who we've met through PK Gen, and then we've started to go outside as well. So.
Cool.
And
So
then,
they like brought you outside. They were like telling you to.
not those guys. No, we all sort of came outside all together. So we
Okay.
just decided that like we trained a lot and we wanted to train together because we were all friends and like we didn't know anybody else training at the time. So we'd meet up and we'd go to Vauxhall Walls or we'd go wherever else like South Bank. SB Saturdays obviously was a huge thing.
Yeah.
So we'd always be going to there. But yeah, so we started training outside, doing that. Met a few people, and then who's next in Bank? Is it Banjo? Actually, no, it would be Ward. It would be Ward, because obviously Ward's been about for a long time as
Yeah,
well.
true.
And although he's a Kent boy, like he came to London at
Yeah.
some point and made his name.
Well, yeah, a lot of people mistook me for living in London because I was in London literally every
Yeah.
Saturday, every weekend. I would turn up and like turn up to train with London guys and just be in the London scene because I was completely encapsulated by it. That was where the community was at the time. So yeah, I would have.
And
met
still
these-
is really.
Yeah, definitely. But like, yeah, definitely like back in the day, it was so as you said, like you guys were going out to SB Saturdays a lot, so I would have come across these guys. Like for me, like I don't have like a distinct memory of when I met either of these two, but I definitely remember their faces because they just would have been there like training in like groups of the background. So when so like after years had gone by, I hadn't been training as much, and then I came back onto the scene. I started going to Supa, and like these guys were there, and I immediately recognized them, and I was like, oh sweet, like I know some people here. Like obviously I knew a couple people anyway, but I was like, and then we had a couple conversations, and I immediately was like, oh, these are my guys. I was like,
Yeah,
these are the guys I'm going to resonate with the most, who I'm going to hang with, I'm going to be boys with. They understand, like, we have like a similar understanding of the culture and what we kind of want from it, I guess. And it just hit it off straight away, yeah. And then, I think us knowing each other made it so easy for me to just sort of slide into that slot. Like, I wasn't there at, like, the foundation. I just kind of was like an adopted uncle almost. Like a bit of an OG who just kind of came in and just took his place.
Yeah, because I think as well, like the London scene has changed a lot. A lot of people have started training. A lot of people have moved out of London, or a lot of people have moved into London. So the scene now is very different to what it was even 5 years ago. So it was nice to have a friendly face around from like the good days of London, really.
Yeah.
When
The golden
SB
era.
Saturdays were happening, and yeah, lots of people were out. A lot of spots weren't destroyed. Like, yeah, so it was good times. So it was nice to have a friendly face around. But in that time that obviously you hadn't been training, we'd adopted Banjo essentially. So funny story about Banjo is if you know Kay, does Lit Gum. So he actually was at London Bridge and spotted somebody wearing Storror and went over and chatted to them, and it was Banjo. And at that point, like, none of us knew who he was. Like, he was from Devon, knew some of the boys from that sort of part of the world.
Exeter and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, like Scott and stuff like that.
But yeah, we ended up bringing him out training because he actually lived south at the east as well, so very local to us. So brought him out training, and yeah, that was history really. He just sort of slipped in quite nicely, and and then after that it was Ewan. So yeah, I mean,
Ewan, I met
Ewan, didn't you?
when I was coaching when I was like 17, 18. I'd like met Ewan ages ago. When I did work experience.
Yeah, because he was the same as us. Like he got in through PK Gen and sort of came up, and then like,
So I
coaching.
did work experience there. and
Does
I
he
got
live in
trouble.
London, Ewan?
He does, but he's in Canada at the moment. He goes to Canada like every year for like
Oh, cool. Okay.
like,
summer
camps and
camp.
stuff and working and stuff. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I met Ewan. I was doing work experience there, and I got in trouble because me and Ewan were like talking too much. So like I just hit it off with Ewan, and we were chatting so much that like I got a bollocking for it essentially. And then a couple years later, I saw him again, and he'd like bleached his hair, and he'd like he had this bleach hair, and I'm gonna have to swear to do what I said to him, because what I said is I looked at him and I saw him and I was like, oh, you've turned into a right. And then like we started chatting about like life and about everything, and we just hit it off from there. And then the thing is he had never, although he'd been training for like 5-6 years, he'd never gone outside. So the first time he went to like any outside spots, we took him.
Really?
So like we took him to Liverpool Street, and that's where he met Jay.
That's great. But he's so cold outside. He's got such a strong mental game.
Yeah.
And then like you were saying, he's always had like a cool edgy style about him. You know what I mean? Okay, that's interesting. You guys were the ones that take him outside. Because when I see him training, I feel like he's not there that often, Ewan. But when he comes, he goes hard. Like he throws down for sure.
Yeah, no, he does. And then after that, Jakey boy, so I mean, you were just out training, weren't you? I think.
Yeah, I
we've
think it
seen
was
you,
SB Saturdays actually.
yeah,
I
Iron
came to
Mans.
like quite a few of them, and then just over the time, like slowly got to know you guys a lot more.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
one of the first times we met you, we pushed you down the IMAX stairs on a little
Yeah,
barrier.
yeah. So
There was like one plastic
like a
barrier there,
plastic
we just
barrier,
like shoved him down the stairs and he was
Just sat on
going.
there,
Typical
just
IMAX
sent it
business.
down.
Yeah.
You guys got a video of that?
I do
Yeah.
actually.
I haven't seen that. Show me
Yeah.
afterwards.
But yeah, so I think the reason why we all sort of worked as a little collective is because at the times we all lived in South-East. So
Yeah.
so I think obviously Ward and Ewan are a little bit like further out because Ewan's more south and you're more Kent.
Yeah.
But that's all southeast directions, and so at the time we would be able to train quite locally together. And I think before that there wasn't really that many people in southeast as well coming out a lot. There was obviously Witchells and Sunny have always lived in southeast, but apart from that there wasn't really anybody else. So we just train ourselves, and I think over time the southeast scene and the Lewisham parkour group has just got so big now. Like we were saying that we think that, you know, London might be dead to a lot of people, but Southeast is booming, and it's booming more than it
Yeah.
ever has been. And
I wanted to ask about this because
Yeah.
like we talk a lot about like the London community compared to other communities, but particularly the Southeast community seems to be absolutely vibrant.
Yeah.
Like some days if I want to train, there's no one out on the weekend. You guys are always training.
Yeah,
You
like
know what I
even
mean?
if we're not saying to people like we're out, we're usually out training.
Yeah,
doing
you're just
something, just because
active.
We want to be out and do something. So
So what's it like? Like what would you attribute that to? Just everyone living there, or like?
Lewisham
yeah, everyone
parkour.
living there, and the fact that there are a lot of good spots in Southeast. I mean, there's a lot of good spots all over London, but there are some banging spots in Southeast that people hardly go to or know about. And you know, if people don't want to trek from the other side of London to come to Southeast, that's fair enough. Like, but there's a lot of good spots, and I think that sort of getting us out, being able to have such a good variety of spots on our doorstep, really made it sort of like we
So
don't need
how
to
often
leave
are-
Southeast as much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's my gripe with South is it's like kind of the worst, most poorly connected part of London, even though it's like a really nice part of
I
London.
mean, where are we right now? South,
Like
Just
getting
2
there.
hours to get here, yeah.
Oh yeah, to be fair, getting here takes.
Even
takes
the
a-
guy on the bus that we met was saying that this is like one of the worst parts of London to get transferred.
This is where we shoot in West London Parkour Studio. I live in East London. It takes me an hour and a half to get here. It takes you guys like 2 hours to get here. Yeah. But we love the podcast room, so we stick around.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you on that. But yeah, it feels like how often are people out?
Most days.
Yeah, most days. So like at least every other day, somebody will put a message into the chat saying who's out. And you know, even if it's raining, we've got Yard right there as well.
To be fair, I was potentially having to move out. I did consider it as well, purely because of how strong the community is.
Where you
Yeah.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
Rethink your life. Move to Southeast.
Purely because of Yard and you guys, like having guaranteed good people to train with, like on a regular basis, is sick. Yeah, okay, sick. So just to switch tacks before we get into talking about like the BENK Jam and sort of let you guys do your promotional spiel, which would be good. No, I wanted to ask because we're all sort of like early mid-20s. Well, how old are you, Jake?
I'm 20. Yeah.
20. Cool. So he's in the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like where does parkour sit in your lives right now in terms of like managing adult life? Like you said, people are out every other day. It's hard to do that. Manage work. Like, what's the parkour sort of adult life balance for you guys like
Start, Jake?
right now?
Yeah.
Just get involved.
Well, yeah, obviously, I live in Brighton right now. I've lived there for the last like two, nearly 3 years. So yeah, I've been there for uni. So yeah, I've always had quite a big opportunity to do parkour, lots of free time. So yeah, I'm currently planning to stay in Brighton after uni. So figuring out kind of work and housing and stuff like that. But yeah, I still want it to be a big part of my life, and still is, always will be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm out most days in Brighton. Lots of people are in Brighton. The scene, as you know, is
I forgot
it's
you lived
absolutely
in Brighton because of how often you're up here. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
he's quite active out of all of us.
He's like-
Yeah,
he's
always out.
active.
He's always
100%.
out. Yeah. Okay, yeah, sick. So yeah, you're looking at like uni now, right?
yeah, I'm just about to go into my 3rd year. So
About to go into your 3rd year. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's a bit of leeway before the fear kicks
yeah, I'm
in.
just trying to work out life right now. See.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's already starting, but
Yeah.
trying to kind of work out.
What do you
I'm doing.
study?
Music.
Music. Oh,
Music
sick.
production.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
a band, right?
Yeah. Actually playing at BENK Jam, actually.
BENK Jam.
Oh, you're playing?
BENK
Hot
after-
outside the after party.
Yeah.
At
BENK after
the
party.
Angustine Hotel.
Yeah, BENK
Yeah,
after
so
party.
we managed to get obviously the pub just across the road.
Yeah, that's so sick.
You know, parkour people like a bit of convenience, so
Yeah.
we'll slap the after party just across the road from the spot. So yeah.
Yeah, sick. All right, yeah, let's how's it the rest of you then? Balancing, trying to work, trying to train, stuff like that. I mean, we talked about it briefly as well with Ward. But yeah, well, how do you guys find it? Because I obviously struggle with it as well. Like,
I think it's very mixed. I mean, I'd say that me and Kai have been in a similar boat because we've had sort of like similar stances in like training. We're obviously the same age, so we're in the same school year. So we've done everything sort of the same way. We did training classes at the same time as balancing school, and then we finished school. We go into like coaching parkour as well, and I mean it's interesting because I think we both have different sort of ideas of where we want to take parkour for ourselves.
100%.
We've definitely, I mean, we can get onto this as well. We've definitely had some negative setbacks with parkour from coaching as well, I'd say, that have kind of skewed our opinions on wanting to coach as much as possible, especially for certain companies.
do you coach now?
So we coach now, yeah.
Okay.
So,
I do one day a week. Other than that, I'm like, I've
Mm.
hit a point where the fear has kind of kicked in, where I'm like,
Yeah.
I actually really need to figure out like what I need to achieve in my life, or like I need to figure out a more stable path, because I've never known like what I kind of need to do, what like to go for. So right now I've kind of like, I was doing a lot of coaching over the last couple of years, and I kind of quit that. I kind of got quite burnt out with it.
more than a couple. You've been teaching for what, like
Oh, yeah,
5, 6
God, it's
years
been
as
a
well.
while.
Like,
God.
yeah.
It's
been a while.
It's been a long
You
time.
pretty much went straight into it as well. You started.
I
before
started
me.
at like 17, 18.
Yeah, and you went straight in,
Mm.
and you've been doing that for. So yeah, like that's like. 7
Christ,
years
it's too,
now.
yeah, long time. So I coached for a while, got burnt out towards the end of, well, a couple months ago. I was like, I'm not really enjoying it anymore. I've kept on like a day or so a week where I have like the sickest classes.
I used to do the same thing. I used to do 1, maybe 2 classes,
Yeah,
and I could sustain that. And you got 1 or 2 kids in there that really want to be there. You know,
Exactly, that's
then
the
it's
best.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why we do it. You know, I think for us, the reason we coach is because we had such good coaches when we were younger, and they installed that sort of passion in us that made us, you know, then want to give that back to other people and coach and sort of really be part of the culture and live parkour. And I think that's why we went straight into coaching and why we enjoy it so much. And you know, it's paid off when you got people like Jordan and stuff like that. Like he's so sick now, little Jordino. Yeah,
That's right.
Like,
yeah, absolute weapon. But that is normally how it works with the coaching pathway. Like you get coached, you get really into the sport, and then often like the first bit of work people do is coaching. Like for me, it was I worked at trampoline park and coach parkour, and they're in like the same building.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the pathway, because often, unless you want to build a career coaching, which some people do, it's like that part in life where you're just working like different kind of jobs. So that's quite normal actually to get into coaching like 17, 18.
Yeah, I think that was for me as well. I found it quite hard to get into coaching, especially to support myself solely from coaching. So for me, I was doing a lot of different things, not just parkour related at all. It was like completely unrelated from parkour a lot of the time. But now I coach 6 days a week.
Oh,
and,
wow, okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know
so I coach at schools. So and I coach at Parkour Jam as well. So I'm trying to coach full time as much as possible and solely live off of parkour. So I do solely live off of parkour
Yeah,
at the
wow,
moment,
okay.
and I do like a few stunt jobs here and there. and
Yeah,
like
I saw that. So
things,
you
yeah.
occasionally you're getting these performances and stomp
Yeah,
jobs. That's
yeah.
cool. Do you have like an agency or something?
No, nothing at all. I'm just being contacted through like social media and people
Brilliant.
reaching out to me, and I think just establish connections with people, and it will give back.
Yeah, that's
You
what
got
it's
to give
about.
into them, and they'll give back to you, and eventually something comes from it. So I think just work with it. Yeah.
Yeah, man, definitely. Okay, so that's cool. So you're really hustling on that now, and you're looking to eventually open a gym, or I don't know, where do you see it going? I'm curious.
I don't know about opening a gym. I think that's way too expensive.
Yeah.
And in
Never
London doing
works.
that is I mean, we've seen countless gyms come and go, and like things try to start up, and
Yeah,
I don't think it's that maintainable.
Yeah, you need kind of a probably really strong proof of concept investors or something. Then your job is being an entrepreneur. Your job isn't teaching parkour. But do you feel like because you're always out training as well? Do you feel like it makes it harder for you do you burn out at all to train with all the coaching?
Yes, yeah. Sometimes I think, especially for me, like working in schools, it's like I don't want to be a school teacher. I was that kid in school that messed about and got told off a lot. So I understand what it's like. And when you're in school, for me at least, the only thing I wanted to do was go out and do parkour. Like, I didn't want to be in school at all. I thought it was a complete waste of time. Obviously, it wasn't. You know, there was like, you know, I just wanted to be out doing parkour and just pushing for that. And I already knew it when I was in school that I wanted to coach parkour. So I just wanted to put all my time into that and do that. But I think teaching at schools as well, it kind of like becoming that sort of teacher, and the kids at the schools don't really understand like that I'm not there to tell you off and be a teacher. Like, I want to teach you parkour and have fun. So I think sometimes it can take away from it just by having some kids, which can be a problem, but it is still very rewarding. Still very rewarding, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Have you had any kids that have come through and you've given them kind of their first experience in the sport, and then they've actually gone and taken it up through the schools and things like that? Because it's quite a difficult thing to do in like a almost enforced taster session where like they haven't necessarily signed up for it. It's just like part of their school program, or how does it work?
So it works in, at least at the schools that I work at, I teach more like after school clubs. Some of them are actual lessons within the school, but because a lot of them, they have like quite specialist sports in the schools. They've got a lot of money, these schools, so they can afford to have all the nice, different things like skateboarding and parkour and whatever else, like all these different sports. And some of them, I've taught them lessons outside of school as well, so they come to me for private coaching, and I've done that with them.
Cool.
And some of them go on to like look for other things, but a lot of the time it's just something that they have so much stuff thrown at them, so it's just something else that they can do. So it'd be nice to see more of these schools push, but I think we get most of the kids that then go into parkour outside of lessons from teaching at Parkour Jam. We've got a lot of kids that we're trying to push out into the world of Supa and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like create that pathway, you know what I mean? That's what we need for sure. One other thing I wanted to ask before we get on to like the jam is when you guys are out training right now, what are your current like goals? Like you're just trying to socialize, have a good time, you're trying to stack up some hard clips. Like what do you look for from a training session? For everyone, really.
Tough.
Yeah, I think
What
it's
is
different
Yeah,
for
it's
all
true.
of us. It's different
It is
for
a
all of
tough one
us.
because you get into like a rhythm of like we just go out because what we do.
Yeah,
And you enjoy it, right? But if you were to think about like actually what are you trying to achieve or do, or do you just want to hang out with your mates? Like, there's no sort of wrong answer, but I'm curious.
There's a bit of both. For a long time, I think for me, it was more just hang out with your mates.
Yeah.
I wasn't as focused. I feel much more focused now on kind of pushing myself mentally and physically than I have before. If anything, my want to push myself has just gotten better.
Yeah.
Because like at this point in my life, I'm like, I think I'm the strongest and most powerful. So now I'm feeling good about training. I want to train hard. I want to try push.
Yeah, sick.
Before I was more on the I'm just gonna go hang out with the boys. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna go chill. It'll be fine. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it is nice to feel strong and capable and to feel like you're at your peak,
Yeah.
and then you can really like push. Like it's a cool feeling. Yeah, what about you?
I think it's a bit mixed. I think, yeah, it's a bit mixed for me. I mean, I'd say definitely more at the moment I'm less focused on sort of things. I've been trying to build up PK hit list and get to some things that I want to do, but I think for a while I've sort of been taking my eye away from certain things like challenges within parkour, and I've been focused on sort of pushing to do more jobs. So like you said, and like, I've heard you talk in other podcasts about the fact that when you start doing jobs you don't want to get injured, so you start to look at stuff a bit different, and that's what I was doing for a while. I'm trying to just support myself through parkour as much as possible, so I've been stepped back and not looking at a lot of challenges as much as I once was, I'd say.
So you come out, you enjoy it, but you're not necessarily trying to like really push yourself physically for fear of sort of being put out of jobs.
Yeah, I'd say.
But also coaching, like you can be a little bit injured in coach, but you can't be properly injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a big thing. I just think I enjoy being out and seeing challenges as they come, but at the moment I wouldn't say that I'm really that driven to take off a load of challenges or whatever. I'm sort of just out to train and have fun and be healthy.
Yeah, sick. And it's cool as well because you're out so often with that as well. There's always like can pretty much always rely on you guys to be out. When every other chat is dead, but you have your own sort of group chat in South-East, right?
Chats, yeah, quite a lot.
Well, when no one else is posting, I got to remember to hit you guys up to come and train. Yeah. What about you guys? What are the current goals lie? Like when you're out training, what do you hope to get out of a session?
Oh, I mean, like if we're going off what the boys have just said, like challenging those mindsets. I love coming and hanging out with the guys and like train. Like obviously, like I try to be as hard of a hitter as I can when I come out. Obviously, like I'm still trying to push my physical limits in the sport, as well as challenge my own mindset in how that I've sort of set up my training over the past 16 years. I feel like I've set myself into a bit of a pigeonhole, and now I'm at this point where I feel like it's time to sort of flick the switch a little bit. Like I'd still be great at the things that I've been great at, but like start really developing my understanding of the sport and like expand my movement arsenal, I guess.
Yeah, into different skill sets.
And then obviously just like continue to be an inspiration and be inspired, and then also just like making sure the boys are accountable and they're trying to push themselves where they can, both in their lives and in parkour. Because when I turn up and I'm there, I've got like maybe a weekend to try and get as much in as I can. So I'm like, right, let's go. Like let's start.
You
pushing.
really
So,
value that time because
Yeah.
you don't live in London.
No.
You've got the kids, so you've got when you have your time, it's like let's go for it. No,
Yeah,
for sure,
100%.
man.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
So yeah, it's just and now obviously we have the BENK Collective. It's like another thing to just sort of like keep pushing and
Yeah.
pushing forward. So like it just gives me a lot more inspiration to just keep moving in that positive forward direction for the future, you know, and just see what comes of it, you know. I live and breathe parkour, so it's just like it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah,
Love
for
that
sure.
statement. I live and breathe.
Come
it,
on,
breathe
come
it.
on. Yeah, what about you, Jay? Because last I saw you, we were in Brighton, and you were like pushing pretty hard to get some clips for a video project. So what's your current mindset?
Yeah, very much still in the clip hunting process.
Nice.
Over the last summer and over the winter coming, like, gonna be just shooting as much as we can, trying to hit as much stuff as I can really. So, my average training session isn't kind of like the normal like chill out with the boys. You know what I mean? Like just hit a few kongs. It's like, okay, we go to the spot, we try hit this.
So you're in like a shooting phase right now. But it's not always like that, right?
No, it's not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it to be for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
What is this project that you're shooting for?
So this is a few people in Brighton and a few people from abroad that are coming to Brighton to shoot, and we're gonna make a parts video with Ollie Dale Designs and lots of other people.
Where's that gonna be up?
On Ollie's YouTube, Ollie Dale Designs.
Ollie Dale Designs.
Yeah,
Plug
yeah,
Royal Hand.
ODD.
Yeah. We've last video we made called Raw Hand with Ollie Dale.
Yep.
That came out like the start of summer, I think. But yeah, we want to go bigger and better this time. Just try it.
Cool. So
Yeah,
it's very much like a
so
Brighton community, you know,
Yeah.
plus sort of fly-ins.
Plus like a few select others that are kind of passing through to
Might
get
be
a
a
few
bank
clips.
part, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Come on.
we're-
you get you on the train.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
But yeah, parkour is also just my social life as well. So
Yeah.
it's not all encompassed in like a shooting mode. You know what I mean? Like,
But at the moment, like not every day you'll be out shooting,
Oh,
right?
no,
You'll have
definitely
shooting days and more
Yeah,
chill
yeah.
training, right?
yeah, of course, my body can't keep up with that.
Yeah, I-
that's impossible. It's
Same.
impossible. You need time. You need time to like reset and.
But that's a really good point you touched on about how like parkour is also like your social circle, your social life.
It completely
It's
is,
it's the same for almost all of us here,
I was about
right?
to say, yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
thing, like, because we, like, even in terms of, like, a lot of our friendship groups, like,
Yeah.
from outside of parkour, so, like, our Muggle friends, like, our friendship group is just so tightly knit of people that we've met throughout our parkour life and people that weren't involved in our parkour life, and we've pulled it together. And so I mean, it's probably the same for lots of different people, but we've got parkour is part of our friendship group for a lot of people that don't even do parkour as well.
Yeah.
Like, I've brought so many people out throughout the years to come to jams and stuff.
Yep.
So I think as well, that's a good way of just pushing parkour, like get people more familiarized with it. And
Yeah,
so they
absolutely.
actually know, like by meeting people within the community, and they know that, you know, we're not just crazy adrenaline junkies. just
Yeah,
getting ourselves
yeah,
to
yeah.
groove. So
There's
they-
a whole
they
like
see it.
group of people that aren't like practitioners that are very much within the parkour community, within the space, within those social circles for sure. Yeah, and then sometimes they start training or they don't, but they very much like sort of become part of the community. And a lot of people stop training and they still are.
Yeah.
So do you guys have like any close friends you see regularly that are completely outside of that space, or is it all like kind of within this world? 'Cause for me,
There's a
it's
few.
mostly within this world.
There's a few, I'd say, but very rarely, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think we just spend so much time with each other, and we're either training or at the gym or doing something else that a lot of the time we don't have time to see anybody else
Yeah.
really. So
Well, you're 10 plus years into like a lifestyle sport,
Yeah.
realistically. So it's like becomes a big part of your life, right? Yeah, I'm very similar. Like I have a couple of close friends that are completely not in the parkour space, in like other countries, but for the most part, it's when you make it such a big part of your life, you know, and you build like your work schedule around it and sort of all your free time around it. That just becomes part of the system for sure. All right, let's talk about this jam.
okay.
The BENK Jam, you know, because I remember you guys at some point told me you were gonna do a jam. I was like, cool, man, like I'd love to be there. And then I saw you guys were announcing you're gonna do skill, you're gonna do speed, you're gonna do style, you're gonna have like prizes, you've got an after party. So you're really putting together like a real sick event, like a real putting something together for the community. So yeah, tell me about it. Like, why do you want to do it, and what's it gonna be like?
I think
Input hologram of Banjo.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I said big up Banjo.
Without him,
None of this
like,
would
this is his brainchild.
Is it? Okay.
essentially, and without
Yeah,
him, yeah, there's so much stuff. Like he's putting in a lot of money into it as well to get. Like we've. I mean, can we say? Can we say?
I wouldn't until it's all confirmed.
But yeah,
I mean, we could always cut this out. Could you, if potentially, if it's not?
Yeah, if you want.
So obviously, a massive. This is crazy for us because this is such a big thing for us. Inspiration of getting in. So the people that inspired us a big time was Brewman. Like those were the guys that were just pushing it, making the videos.
This is Guildford-based kind of parkour team, yeah.
The team before Brewman, and then they sort of came together and made Brewman. And so for us, that was a huge inspiration. And obviously Hector editing the videos. We've got Hector Pitt coming for the day to film and edit the BENK Jam video.
Okay.
So we're hoping, it's a big thing for us. So and Banjo's planned all of that. He's got it all together.
Yeah.
And a lot of other stuff.
So like to make the official event video, you got Hector coming down.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know Hector, I actually talk to him quite a lot because he gives me tips on like my filmmaking career. So this guy was killing it with the Broom and Parkour videos, which for a while were like the best videos in the space. People were really getting behind them. And then he moved into the music video space, and he's one of like the UK's top like rap music video directors. You know, we saw him. I don't know if any of you boys were with me. We were at Cross Harbour, and he came by in a car, and we thought they were just these roadmen, like these gangsters who just stopped. And then Hector gets out, and we're like, yo, you know, because he just saw us doing parkour. So, but yeah, he's had an incredible career with this stuff, and he doesn't train right now, but he's still so invested in the space, and he really is always hungry to do stuff.
He is. He's a really lovely guy as well because, like you said, he's so busy doing other stuff. But I remember I had when I was at college, I had a college project. I did a documentary because I did film at college. And I made a documentary about parkour, and I did an interview with Hector and stuff like that. So yeah, he's always been a massive part of like the parkour community, even if he's taken a step away from it.
And he still loves it, and he'll still like, you know, respond to like a message or a question you have. It's funny you mentioned that because my dissertation for my film course was a documentary with Dom Tomato, but he Hector was there.
Oh, really?
And I got him to essentially like do the lighting for me, like to set up the interview lighting and make it like techie because he's really, really talented. So that, having him, I mean, I'll be editing this pretty soon, so tell me if I need to take it out.
We will let you know.
But having him there to do the video would be awesome. And he's just, he's a sick guy, man.
Yeah, he is,
Yeah, brilliant. Cool. So what else about the event?
So yeah, obviously Banjo's brainchild. He wanted to have as many competitions in there as possible, which I think is an ambitious idea, but we're hoping that it's going to be pulled off completely fine. So we've got skill, speed, and style. And I think for the skill comp, it's kind of like more of a takeover style to it. So we'll have a list of challenges for both men and women, and we just want people to sort of tick them off throughout the day. And then
this is going to be at Yard, by the way, just to clarify that. So this will be at the undercover spot, which is constantly expanding in Greenwich. So rain or shine goes ahead.
Yeah, rain or shine is going to go ahead.
Yeah, facts. That's probably one of the biggest factors. Obviously, being that BENK is there, and like it's basically the birthplace of BENKBOYS, so just makes perfect sense.
No brainer.
Full circle moment.
And obviously the third year to celebrate.
Yeah,
Yard.
yes, Yard. Yeah,
absolutely.
Which is amazing that it's actually lasted 3 years.
Not only lasted but thrived.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the local council sort of must be aware of it and just. I don't know if it crosses any red tape, but if it does, they're happy to just let it slide because it's a beautiful space.
I mean, at the moment, that's kind of what it looks like. But like, you know, there could be some plan that we're not aware of. It might just be the logistics of it are a little bit more complicated. But
seems as well like online, like you can check sort of.
Did recently,
I think it was in this Matt Marlin was like looking at online people go and complain about things. There's like certain websites you can go on to like tell your council that you're not happy with certain things, whether that's like fly tipping or graffiti or whatever. And there's none on there about like the spot. There's loads about the graffiti around the walls and stuff, but there's none actually about the spot. So locals either think it's an official thing or they really don't care.
Yeah, because it's a totally positive space. And if something like that did happen, let me know, because maybe as sort of the national governing body, we could have a say in trying to keep it there.
It would be amazing.
I don't know, to be honest, the logistics around that, but we definitely try.
Yeah,
because we think it's a really positive space.
Because I've been local to that area for my whole life. I've seen the fact that there's been a skate park there for ages. Like there's always been stuff there and skaters there since I can remember, and that's not been destroyed or gone. So
I mean, the skate park is at a much smaller scale. Like you say, like
yeah.
Yard is like thriving. Like
Yard's
there's
massive.
new stuff coming in all the time. Andy and Witcher are getting more and more ambitious with what they're throwing in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously that works out very well for the Jam as well. But yeah, I mean, to continue on like with what we're going to be doing. So obviously you got to say the skill. Like so we wanted to do more of like a takeover element because we don't want it to be like, it's going to be like a full day thing and there's a lot to pack in into one day. So like giving people the challenges either the day before or like earlier on in the day, so they have a chance to like just sort of look through it, get, you know, an idea of like what sort of challenges they might want to do. It's not going to be like a super intricate list, but it's going to be something that should accommodate everybody, like at all levels, so that like people can get involved. And we did want to kind of look at it in a more of like a kind of like how the Super Awards did it, like a very inclusive kind of competition where everyone can get their foot in there and have a go at it and really have fun. And like we're really trying to just like drill that into whatever we're putting across. Obviously, like for the speed and the style, it will be a little bit more up for debate, but like I think it just gives people a chance to like get involved in a competition that you might not have done before. Like a lot of people may have done some takeovers, but I feel like they're a little bit more casual in a lot of senses, but they do challenge you a lot. But yeah, like I don't really remember or know of any other competitions that have happened at like a spotlight yard or just a spot in general in London outside where it's like skill, style, and speed, like how we would normally have.
Yeah,
like,
it's
a
not
gym
very
competition.
common, and it's awesome to see. It usually happens in a gym, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of format, I'm curious. So you're looking at like maybe there'll be 30 challenges, and it's like 1 point each per challenge, or you'll have like
I think
different point levels.
Easy,
Different
medium,
point
and
levels,
hard.
Easy, medium, hard. So maybe 1, 2, 3 point challenges, something along those
like that,
lines. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then you just go throughout the day and tick them off, and so there's no real pressure involved in it. Everyone can just have a crack. No,
Exactly,
mate.
because I think as well something that we find is that, I mean, yard is a big space, but it's not the biggest space, and obviously a big turnout means that while the competitions are going on, there's going to be a lot of that space that can't be used, and so we kind of wanted to space it out throughout the day so that people can train as much as possible without being interfered by the competition. Because we found at other jams and events that, you know, you go to them and the competition takes up so much of that space and time that a lot of the time you end up going to a jam and you don't really do much training. So we want to get as many people trying to train and get involved as possible.
So the skill competition is just jam time. It's not like only skill competitors on the course. We're just training and like you try and tick them off, and then I'd assume you film and upload the clip, or
we're gonna get everybody to send in the clips at the end of the day, and
cool. Yeah.
So that's the skill, but
What? So you're gonna get them to send them in or put them on their stories?
I mean, I think we're still sort of indecisive about what that is, but I feel like it'd either be showing us, like, okay, and then we tick it off and go, yeah, that's good enough, or whatever it might be. But yeah, like I said, it's meant to be a bit more of a casual thing. So if they have a clip and they show us and we go, yeah, that's cool, no worries, you've done that challenge. Like there's not going to be like a huge list of challenges, so it should be quite easy to get through. Obviously, if we end up with like 100 people at the jam, then we'll try our best to get through.
I think stories might be the easiest way. Probably, if you get people tagging you in those, and you can check. And then if you need someone to come and show you, they can show you. Logistically, in terms of like,
you heard it here first, guys.
If I was running the event, like I feel like that's probably the easiest way, because you can go through then your 30 different accounts that have messaged you and just kind of tick them off.
Okay, that's smart.
And then if you need any extras, they can come to you. But
thank you.
No worries. I want this event to run well, man.
First one, so yeah, it can only get better from here.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
No, I want it to be a success. Absolutely. Okay, so that's cool. So that's the skill format. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And yeah, if it was like a proper skill comp, I don't know if I'd join it. Maybe I'll give that a crack then.
We've got one of our muggle mates as well. We want to try. And
just get him in there.
We've told him that if he gets like within the top 20, we'll give him like a 10 quid each. It's just quite a laugh to have with them.
That's fun. Yeah, maybe I'll try and bully my girlfriend into doing something that even though she doesn't do the sport. It'd be funny. Okay, no, brilliant. I love that. So what about, let's go on to speed then. What's that going to be like?
So with the speed, we've got obviously like, so for the skill and the style, it's just men and women's, but we wanted to obviously involve the under 16s. There are quite a few of them. So it was obviously in terms of the time constraints that we had, we wanted to try and fit it in one that we thought made sense. So I think speed makes the most sense to have the most sort of like categories, I guess, because obviously we'll run through, it's just a speed challenge. So it'll be like one.
And you can do a similar course for both of them.
Exactly. So, so that'll be men, women, and under 16s. We do have a course in mind. Obviously, I'm not going to display it now, but
course,
So it's
just tell me.
Yeah. But it's a pretty techie course. So I think everyone should be like it. We really wanted to make it so that everyone had a chance to get over it, because we felt like there was a couple of occasions, especially at the Super one, like there was definitely some harder like high to lows, and we wanted to try and keep it as speedy and A to B as possible. So like I say, everyone can get involved and everyone has
not
a good
stopping
chance.
and starting
exactly,
as well.
Yeah. So it's like it runs faster, and two, people get more of an idea of like, oh, this is actually, I got to run fast, I've got to push hard for this one. So
it's true, because you don't. It's cool to have a really technical speed comp, but if you have a speed comp where people aren't actually moving that fast, you know what I mean? Like you just like climb ups and stuff. Like it's impressive parkour, but you kind of want a bit of Sonic mode, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and it will be one course that everyone can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. But assuming there will be like harder versions if you're more ambitious. But
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, we made a little route, and then Andy and Mitchell decided they wanted to build some more at yard, so we had to change our routes. Nothing bad at all. That was brilliant. We
Yeah.
love the fact that they've added some new things, but it's
Yeah.
just quite funny how much now it's just building and building and building. But yeah, it's going good.
Brilliant. So it's just going to be like a kind of pretty clear A to B, no like checkpoints, no
Yeah.
like funny business.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
No, it's nice and
Yeah,
simple.
we're
No,
gonna
it's
try and
good.
get Benk involved as much as possible as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you're listening to this, don't put your bag on Benk. Get
Yeah.
off. Get off.
Don't
Put your
put
bag
your
on the
bag on
floor. We want Benk to be
Nobody
as
sitting
clean
on
as
bench.
possible so that we can take photos of people throughout the day just using Bank and show that like it's a big part of the community and show that obviously that's how it got us started and we spend a lot of time there. We want to get everybody to
Cool.
socialize
Yeah,
and sit
cool.
on Bank as much as
Yeah, because
possible.
Benk is the social space
Yeah.
of art. It's literally
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
you're not training, like you're not going to go sit down on the dust on the floor. Like
Exactly,
you're going to
yeah.
go sit on Benk. So,
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Yeah. So you finish the speed comp sitting on Bank.
yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I think it either starts or it finishes on Bank, doesn't it?
I think it finishes on
Finishes,
Benk.
yeah.
Yeah. That's as
Yeah.
much as we're saying.
Yeah.
Bum contact with Bank is the finishing.
That
thing.
would be hilarious. I can just imagine someone just decking it.
Yeah, yeah. You get so many
Sam
people. The
Stevens.
back.
Oh, get Sam Stevens come bum drop on it. Yeah.
He'll do a bump jump.
Yeah.
The number of people smashing their spine into the edge of it if you like had to. But no, I'm super excited for that. That sounds good. And speed, like you said, it runs quick, man. Even if you get 50 people, you can just get them through. Go,
Yeah.
go, go. You know, so that's a pretty easy one time wise to run.
Yeah.
That'll be really fun. And then, how you want to do style, because that's the less common one we get at a street spot.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool to see.
I don't actually know much about the style.
Well,
so-
I mean, I can go into it again. Like, I feel like I'm the information pamphlet. on
Yeah,
this one. but no,
do
it's
it.
like, from what Banjo said, he wanted style. I think we said we wanted it to be in one area. So, like, we're going to maybe designate an area or we're using the whole spot. I think it's either we're designating an area for people to do style. So, obviously, as we said about continuing the jam.
Yeah.
But obviously, this could alter it. It could be like utilize the whole space and do like your own style run. Obviously,
Yeah.
there'll be a set time for when the style's happening. So, people should have pretty much the whole day to go through skill challenges, set up what they establish as a style run, depending on what they want to compete in. And then there'll be a set time frame for everyone, depending on how many people we get to sign up for it. I guess will depend
yeah.
on how long that runs.
So you might have like a practice time and then a
Yeah, definitely. There'll
going
be at
time.
least 10, 15 minutes, I think, before we start, like where everyone gets a chance to sort of like go over their style run. But people should have that in mind before.
Throughout the day,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course. Yeah.
So if you've got any ideas before you come to the jam, think about it now.
And then what kind of runs you after and like judging, etc.
So I think we said flow, execution, difficulty, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So like sort of the standard idea of what I think most comps generally do. So as long as it flows well, relative
Yeah,
difficulty.
Yeah, I think the same.
It's
as,
usually
like, the
those
Super
three
Jam.
plus creativity is like the
yeah.
traditional like
Yeah.
way of doing it.
I think if you've been to the Super Jam, you would know like their style format was like they picked a part of yard and then it was just if we see that you're pushing yourself like to the as hard as you possibly can, you're really sending it, like it doesn't have to be the most amazing thing ever, but if you're challenging yourself and we see that, then that's going to be something good that we can give you a prize for or
Yeah.
something maybe. So we just want to see people pushing hard, I think.
Okay, yeah.
really,
But yours is more of a like a competition format because that's like 10-15 minutes throw down on this section, and if you're pushing yourself, we'll give you a t-shirt or we'll give you something like that.
I think I'm not 100% too sure on that.
Line-based.
Line based.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So more of a traditional like style comp
Yeah,
on the
but
street.
I think we're trying to encompass the idea of like we will reward people for trying and
Okay.
putting
Yeah,
themselves
it's
out
just
their
not,
comfort
it's not going to be
zone.
the top level athletes in
Yeah,
London that are going to win all the prizes. Like
Yeah.
we want to
Yeah,
reward everybody for their hard efforts. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, it's good. And like try and communicate that as best you can because it's quite an intimidating thing to do for people to jump in there. And then so what you get like 60-second runs happening then or something? Like maximum of 60 seconds.
yeah.
Maximum, yeah. Something along those lines, right? No, that's super cool. I look forward to seeing some style runs on the streets, especially considering that London City, we're not style athletes predominantly. There are very few like competition style athletes. So it'd be cool. You would get some real parkour based runs. You might get some single corks in there if you're lucky. But no, I'm looking forward to that. It'd be really cool. And then do you think you'll do some of the XXL style things where you like jam on a space and like give people some prize, or is that just too much for the day?
I think there was loads of talk about throwing in loads of different things that we could do, and with all the new stuff as well. And I think in the end, we just decided that we'll stick with these 3 competition styles.
It's already a lot. It's already a lot.
If we have time, exactly, we might throw something else
Cool.
in, and if we have the sponsors and prizes that we'll be able to throw in, then we'll do something else as well. But yeah, I guess the competition doesn't just end at Yard. We also have a quiz at the after party.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about that. I did one once for Project Next. I did like a small quiz, had an hour-long playlist of songs, like 20 songs, and whoever guessed the most parkour videos, like what?
Oh, that's a sick one. Yeah,
Yeah, I did that at my event. Aaron won,
Oh, that's such a
and in
good one.
classic Aaron fashion, I mean, do it as well. It's a sick idea.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Aaron won it, and then in classic Aaron fashion, he didn't want like a beer for the prize, so I bought him like a Huel the next day because he's such an, which is like a third of the price of a beer, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But he's such an athlete. But no, I thought only like 10, 15 people really took part in it, but they were just good songs anyway.
Oh,
I enjoyed the idea as a parkour nerd, so it'd be cool to do something like that as well. But what is the quiz?
I think it's a bit more about parkour history, really.
Parkour
and
history
something about
quiz.
that, just a few different questions.
We might throw in a few hard questions in there that might throw a few people, even some parkour historians of who have that special interest and know every fine detail. But I think we still need to go over a lot of the questions. I think we're like building it slowly, but like once we have some really techie questions,
I like this idea of the music.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's an easy one to do as well because it's optional participation. Like you just let the songs play. Like not many people did it, but I enjoyed running it. Let's say, No, that's super cool. Are you gonna screen anything at the after party, or what's the plan?
We wanted to, but we're not sure that the venue has like a projector. They have a TV because it's it's mainly like a football pub. So lots of football people go there and watch the football and spend the day there and get rowdy and whatever. But so they have a TV screen, but we're not sure they have a projector. So we're gonna talk to some people if there's anything to screen, but that's not definite yet. We've got music acts, so.
Mate,
really
sick.
leaning towards that more.
So that's awesome. You managed to get them in because for anyone that doesn't know, Yards is under this bridge, and we're talking like a 40-second walk away across the road is this Angustine Hotel, this pub where we go afterwards and wash off our dirty hands and play some pool, basically. So how'd you nail them down for the after party?
I think we just kind of decided that we were going to ask. We looked at a few different places, and then we were just like, why don't we just ask there? It's so convenient.
Yeah.
And we know that way we will get majority of everybody that comes to the jam to the after party as well. So it can be a really social event. And it's
absolutely.
easy
There's no
for
excuse
everybody.
not to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So we just messaged them, and they were just like, yeah, fine. Yeah, that was literally it. It was so easy as
So
that.
do you have like the space kind of reserved in some respect, or how does it work?
Yeah, so it's not like a separate room or anything. It just is the pub.
Just is the pub,
And
yeah.
I think they said like they might have a few locals in there or whatever, but we're not too fussed about that. It's enough space.
That's
so.
fine, yeah.
Yeah,
So the merrier.
exactly.
Yeah, come on. Oh, mate,
Exactly.
brilliant. Like when I saw that announcement, I was like, yes, boys, like that's fun. And it does make a big difference having because we don't have that many events, but we have even less dedicated social events. I remember when, so when I ran the Project Next Gen one, we had that after party in Catford. Like, people really appreciated it. Like, people still come up to me like, "Oh, it was such a fun night."
That was a really good event. That was a really
because you just have a good time with everyone, And we had some
in South-East
in South-East. That's right. I looked at all of London. That was where the best venues were. That one's closed now, unfortunately. Ninth Life, yeah. But it was a great time. We had some live music, like you said, and everyone just vibed. So getting stuff like that is sick, and having music acts, and yeah, man, it's cool. It just makes it feel like a proper event, proper festival. What time are people gonna get over there, do you think, in the evening?
I think 7 o'clock.
Yeah, but that's good. That's really no excuse not to come there, and we've got to tell people throughout the day to crack on with it.
Pull up to the bank after party.
Yeah.
Mate, yeah, brilliant. Is it? No, I'm super excited for this event. Like, I'm actually off to the US for a job tomorrow, but I told them I had to be back in time. So on the 26th, the day before, I get back, and we'll be jet lagged to BENK Jam. It'll be sick. It'll be sick. Is there anything else about the event that you wanted to cover?
Basically, just thank you, Banjo.
Yeah.
Since Banjo's child, he's absolutely sent it. Like, he's been doing so much work behind the scenes. So if you're there on the day, go up to Banjo,
Give him a big
say
hug.
thank you, Banjo. Be like, thank you.
Please.
And even though you're not here, Banjo, we really appreciate it, man. You've absolutely sent it for this to go down. So sick job.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I really hope people get involved. Yeah, and so I wanted to ask as well, because we just talked about the competitions in this, what you guys think of the state of competition in parkour right now. We don't need to be on this for too long, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
You guys, none of you are particularly competitive athletes, let's say.
No.
But I'm wondering if you had any hot takes on where it's at the moment.
Oh, what a fascinating question.
Yeah. Because I find this an interesting one, because there's a lot of different competitions going on. You got like the dual formats at KOTC, which are quite popular, the takeovers, obviously the traditional stuff in like FIG and SPL. And then you get a lot of people with a lot of opinions who compete, and also people who don't compete. So yeah, I'm curious if anyone's like, what's your favorite form of the competition that's happening right now?
Mine personally, like I've only been to 2 competitions, and obviously like it was the Nova City and SB Takeover. My personal favorite was the Takeover format, purely
format.
because it's just like it's street parkour.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
a lot of what we live and breathe is street parkour. So like obviously I know you guys train in gyms a lot, but it wasn't like you were, I say, going into these sort of like formatted competitions. So
Yeah.
I do like both formats, but I think in terms of for the culture and I'll say like promoting street parkour, I think takeovers are great. Obviously, I know there's a little bit of a discourse right now about how they navigate and how they work, but
Yeah.
I would like to see them come back. And I think, I don't know, sort of taking the elements of street, like what we have at Yard, and sort of the way that we run things, and we know we kind of wanted to try and implement both and
Yeah.
sort of slide them in. So I don't know, taking positive elements from both and combining them together to make something that people can enjoy. But obviously, we'll see what happens on the day. But that's my personal opinion anyway.
I think at Park UK we're trying to get the takeovers up and running again, but with a bit of insurance or something, like try and do it a bit more legit. Because previously they'd be done just in like a city, go and do some training, but I think there's some certain liability issues or something. But no, it's interesting because what I'm getting is you guys don't really engage that much with the competitive parkour space, right? It's very much like the street sport for you guys. Yeah.
I think, well, I mean, I can only speak for myself here, but that's what got me into parkour, the fact it wasn't competitive with anybody else. I did a lot of sports growing up, and at the end of the day, I just found that, like, doing parkour was a very individual sport, and it was competitive within yourself more than anything. And that's what I got so much from, was the fact that I could just push myself and didn't have to rely on a team in the sense to, like, have my back in like a match or whatever, and there wasn't all of that. It was just solely working on myself, focusing on myself, and that was
sure.
what I enjoyed about parkour.
So no, that's cool, and that gives me some confidence that regardless of what happens in the competitive parkour space, whether we get into the Olympics, things like that, like this will still always exist and won't be too altered, you know, because there's a lot of things going on in that space, but the street style is still happening. And you look at skateboarding, like they have this whole competitive side, but I think most people almost don't engage with it, you know.
That's the thing. I hope that it carries on that way, because I was thinking this the other day, like, you know, will that side of parkour culture just disappear at some point because everybody's solely focused on competition or the Olympics or whatever? And I don't think it will. But it can definitely get challenged.
Yeah, it can get challenged, and right now it's still very unified, and the growing of the competitive side and becoming more serious and more of maybe potential career might create some separation in terms of competitive parkour versus street parkour. But right now it's all very unified, and I hope we can keep it that way. For sure, because like the competition stuff that goes on really doesn't affect you guys very much, right? In terms of like how you view the sport, and
there's not a lot of competitions in London, so
some of it's cool to watch. I'll watch the
it's
occasional
fun to
SPL
watch.
highlight or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's always nice to see someone throw down some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I used
Like,
to
it
love
doesn't
Art of Motion as well. That was always
Art of Motion was
Yeah,
amazing.
always
tune in
For
to
the Rebel Art of Motion. I
always.
wish we still had that. I think I'll be at XPL next year, which would be cool, because I think we're gonna do like a trip and end up there to like through the US and end up there, which would be really cool to see it in person. Because I don't know, the US crowd were a little bit quiet for the stuff, the category of stuff that's going down. So we need some hooliganism in there. I think we can bring that, you know. I think we can bring the flares out and so on, and you know, But no, it'll be fun, because I mean, the funnest thing about that competition, I think, is it's all very sort of geared towards the US athletes, because that's where most of the qualifiers are. Although they are going to do sort of one in Brazil and South Korea in this next season, which is cool. But the Europeans and particularly English athletes just come and wipe the floor with them every year. They do. What can you say? What can you say? Nah, there's a few exceptions in there, but to be fair, Brandon is beat Tim XL in the skill. But that was interesting. It was yeah, it's funny to hear sort of that you guys like really aren't that bothered by that side of things. Or one other thing though, in another the other side of parkour competition. So you guys in the Bank bio, you have your proud like 4 times winners of
Yes.
the super golden
Yeah.
bricks.
I think, yeah.
And let's sort of parkour nerd out for a second. Any big contenders you think for the Storror Awards this year for any of the categories?
What category in particular?
Any category. So the ones I'm looking at, I think in the women's side, I think Martita.
Yeah.
100%.
I would give a Woman of the Year, but if not breakout athlete, because she's also broken out this year.
Yeah, 100%.
On the men's side, I think Fletch as breakout
Fletch looking
athlete.
strong.
The problem is he's injured now, and you need to finish the year strong. So him as breakout athlete. I think maybe Travis might win One Man Army with this capstone video because it's probably going to just be mind blowing. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. Would you guys ever have ambitions for the team one? For the what's the team prize called?
I actually don't remember.
Squad goals.
Squad
goals,
goals.
I mean,
It'd be sick.
that would be so sick.
be
It's,
cold.
yeah, I think as well, I'd like to see us win something based on like performing events and things. And
Well,
pushing
that's
that
what it
rather
does.
than-
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really the thing. Like last year was a little bit lackluster on the team side, and my team, Veronica Schlappen, were kind of the front runners, but I think Keeper ended up winning, or no, Vontigada, because they ran an event plus had like a video project. You know what I mean? Which is totally fair enough. So running events, video projects, and being like a strong presence in the community does do that.
Sorry, I thought Jay had something to say.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was just curious because I had a chat with here with Fletch about it, and we just kind of nerded out about it. But yeah, I'm wondering any like top contenders that you guys think.
It's like there's so many things going on right now. I feel like what you said about like Martito, like obviously she's completely blown the water
Yeah,
out, like
crazy.
outperforming a lot of the men in the scene as well.
Yeah.
Like,
It also in actual physical power.
like ridiculous.
Crazy.
Like it's
It's
unbelievable.
insane. And yeah, every video I see is just like it's just more and more, and just yeah, it's baffling.
I wonder if she has enough English to get her on the pod if she comes to London. That'd be good.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear like her story as
I
well.
reckon Endus might get something.
Endis coming back.
Endis.
Yeah.
The comeback's
The,
crazy.
the return of
Yeah.
the Stick King.
Beast.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to see him
Sending
put
some
together a video.
stupid stuff right now.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you see the most recent one where he did the drop, land, backflip
Backflip.
from like a 2-story drop?
No.
He literally, and then he was just like middle fingers up,
Yeah.
like he was
Yeah, he
just
doesn't care.
cold.
And this is like an old school legend. He was definitely the king of sticks in parkour. And then he took like a few year hiatus. He's had some sort of health issues, and now he's really coming back super strong. So that'd be really cool to see.
He did that massive running pre-flight rail, and I think if he stocked that, that's definitely like.
Yeah, I think if he stuck that, it would have been Dinger Award for
Yeah,
sure.
100%.
So he went off a roof to this rail in a playground. And one of the most incredible things about his clips is most of them he just puts his phone somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mo-
on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On his
or
own,
he
yeah.
just, I think he's usually just on his own. I think he barely warms up. He just kind of, he's not training parkour. He's doing parkour.
Yeah,
You know, and it's cool to see people do that. That's an interesting take. I hope they do something big for it this year because the Star Awards has become like almost the most coveted thing in the sport, right? Because there's nothing like it. I'd like to do something similar with Parkour UK one day.
That'd
I
be
think
so
I think
cool.
this year potentially not, but yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to do some kind of awards. It'd be really fun. And then obviously in London, like the Supa Awards, very community-based awards, is just awesome. I absolutely love it. Yeah. That's like February, March time, isn't it? Yeah. Well, maybe you guys can work your way towards some more of those as well.
Yeah, definitely.
we'll see.
But so on the actually one we're going to ask this one as well before we finish on the bank stuff is I ask this on every pod and we almost every time get a different answer. So what are the like main transferable skills you guys feel like you've gotten from parkour? So like we get anything from sort of confidence to being able to know you can always find your way home to like creativity and all kinds of things. Like Fletcher was talking about how it helped him in his work.
I feel like in general life, just methods of processing like just mental battles in general. I guess.
Yeah.
Like anything that comes up, like you're practicing used to kind of working your way through it and staying calm and kind of finding solutions and figuring out the problem. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that I've got from parkour that I can apply to life.
Yeah, problem solving, dealing with risk, dealing with scary situations because you've created them. You're almost creating small models of things you might come up with in life. You're like, this is a scary challenge. Let me break it down. Let me remain calm. Let me execute, and then enjoy, like reap the rewards of feeling good afterwards. So almost like simulating just a standard difficult situation in life and overcoming it. That's definitely a good one. Anything else from you guys?
I'd say adaptability, kind of like being able to just adapt to whatever happens, and then resilience. Like if I'm willing to throw
Resilience.
myself at this thing
Yeah.
over and over and over, like whatever crops up in the day in life, like you'll be all right. Like it teaches you that kind of like, we'll be okay. We can make
Resilience
it.
is a massive one, but you almost need to remind yourself of, I find, because like you develop these skills and this resilience, but then I feel like you approach a situation and you'll still feel the same fears and close up. And sometimes you need to remind yourself, like, come on, man, like look at these crazy things I do. Look how hard I work at this other stuff. Like this is fine. You know what I mean?
Your story of saying 3, 2, 1, send it when you're on your first day as well. It's
Yeah.
so funny. That's amazing.
Hope no one shows her that. it was a good one though, to be fair. Got some good laughs. I went straight to that moment to get the thumbnail for the video because everyone was cracking up. Yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah, for sure. Those are all good ones.
I think the only thing that I would add is culture, community, and being able to like be in a social setting where everyone's sort of, you meet loads of different people in parkour, and I think, you know, without parkour, I found it very hard to sort of like integrate into social groups. So having parkour and having this one thing that we all line up to, doesn't matter how different we are, we all have a very similar understanding, and then you get to know new people, you get to understand different situations, different cultures. I don't know, and it helps you grow a lot as a person. You gain a lot of perspective from that. So adding on to what you guys were saying about these things, you learn a lot from other people as well as your own training. Like you see other people train, go through similar battles, and you sort of share them with each other, and you keep moving forward as a community. And I find that's one of my
100%.
of it.
No, that's huge. 100%. Like one is obviously social skills, and a lot of people who've struggled to like develop strong social circles in life find parkour, and then it really helps. But then the other thing, you get people from all kinds of backgrounds. Like we got a huge, and a lot of people live in like bubbles of like similar people with similar backgrounds, with similar kind of identities to them, with similar political views, all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but you do broaden your horizons a lot. Like with people from all different, in like our, even in like our close group of like mates training in London, all different backgrounds, different like countries, cultures, opinions. Like in our London chats, we have all kinds of like political chats all the time, because we've got people from like all different sides of the spectrum. And I thought about the other day because we always have debates. We never really get to the point where it's too heated that we like dislike each other, but we always have debates. And I realized the other day that I've sort of agreed and disagreed with just about everyone.
Yeah.
So it's never like, oh, you got your left wings here and your right wings here and they're just got butting heads. It's always, there's so much nuance to it. Yeah. And I don't have that in like some other social circles. So that is cool. You know what I mean? You get really challenged, you get lots of perspectives, and then just developing confidence to be good in like a diverse social setting is another massive one.
Yeah, you definitely learn a lot from people in parkour as well. Just meet people from all walks of life, like you said, and you just learn so much. And I think as well, which is interesting, so one of our muggle mates, Nathan, he...
Just to clarify, when we say muggle people, we mean people who don't do parkour.
Although Jake recently has been learning a bit of magic, to be fair, so you still need to tell me how you do that. If you see Jake at the jam, go ask him to do a magic trick for you. It's pretty good.
I did bring my cards.
You've got to show magic.
At the end,
Come on,
it's pretty good.
Harry's got a few magic tricks. Harry Gallagher, he can do some bits and bobs.
But no, our mate Nathan, he's done a lot of sports as well. Plays a lot of football, and he says that like one thing that's really interesting is that every time that he comes out with us, or you know, we bring him to Supa, or we go to the pub with everybody, and he comes out, he says he always just feels so like welcome and able to speak freely with people, and he finds that the connection between parkour people is just straight away, like it's everybody's so open, everybody's so kind, everybody's so comfortable with each other that he doesn't find that a lot in other sports. So he finds that being able to just hang out with the parkour people, he gets a lot from it, because he just we're all just
you're just
so
one of the
open.
community immediately. Like you have this, you touched on it as well, Ward. You have this thing in common, which is it immediately has like brings you this closeness. Like I remember thinking about it when I went to Morocco on my own and did a bit of parkour, and I was with the guys there, and then like theft is like pretty common there, right? Like you don't leave your bag lying around. I just like left my bag with all my camera equipment with them, and like went off somewhere else, came back, and it was just. And I thought about it afterwards, like maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it was so safe with them. You know what I mean? It was such a yeah, there was just such a community vibe, and it would be like the most heinous violation of the parkour community for them to like steal it or whatever, or not like just look out for each other. And the cases of stuff like that is just so rare.
I can think of only one time that's ever happened in my 12 years of training.
Yeah, exactly. And then people that if someone does do that, they're just immediately kind of ostracized from the community because like you know, you can't be doing that. Yeah. So no, it's brilliant. You do just immediately have this unspoken thing in common, despite a plethora of differences which we all tend to have. It's a beautiful thing. So where do you want to see parkour then? We're still pretty small. We're not too fussed about competitions, let's say. We want street parkour to pop off, I guess videos, like where do we want to see the sport? What do we want to see grow for Jake, for the next generation?
Yeah.
For me at least, because my like things that I want for parkour is I want to be able to solely live for parkour, whether that's coaching and doing stunts and adverts or choreographing things for performances or events. I want to see parkour get pushed into every sphere that there is possible, whether that's fashion, the music industry, art, films. I just want to push it myself and see other people push it into every side that there is, because I think parkour can give so much, and it's just, it's such, people love parkour as well. It can be used so much. So I want to just see it get pushed, and I want to see people being able to solely live off of parkour and support themselves, which I think is happening. Like when we were younger, like there was a lot of coaches, but it was very rare to like be able to solely survive with it. But now it's getting there.
It's getting there again.
Hopefully it can get even more there, so that people that love the sport so much can survive.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a huge point, because we had like this golden era, they say, like I don't know, 2005, 2010 or something around that, where there were just like a plethora of jobs for the small number of people doing the sport, but it died off, and feels like now we're growing a stronger foundation. Because that's a really good point about getting it out there. Because I feel like one of the main reasons parkour isn't as common in terms of jobs and things like that is just because they don't think of it. It's like some quirky person in the marketing department's like, oh, let's get a parkour athlete, and they might know about it instead of like your dancer or your model or like your conventional athlete that they want to do it with. So it's just putting it in the zeitgeist, putting in people's minds, and then there's a lot more potential for work out there. So no, 100%, that's a big one. Anyone else like got any aspirations for our little sport?
Just keep it going. Just make sure that it never kind of goes anywhere, because it's given so much to all of us. Like I would just like to see
Grow,
it
don't
continue.
shrink. Yeah,
exactly. Like just continue. Whether it like drops off a little bit and the community gets much smaller, as long as there's a core amount of people that keep doing it and keep training, keep pushing the sport. That's what matters.
The one thing that has been linear with parkour is the skill level. The skill level is constantly progressing. Every day, new stuff's getting done, and that hasn't slowed. That's only sped up. You know what I mean? So as long as we have that, we have a thriving sport where like things are constantly improving. I think that's huge. Anything else?
I was saying, imagine what the skill level's gonna look like in 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe in
Look at where we
5
are
years.
now.
I did wonder at one point, because it's like it is getting to a point where the skill level is absolutely ridiculous. Like even for me, like I'll look at some stuff, like especially when I was taking some time out of training, and I was like, how am I ever going to get back into this sport and reach a level again? I was like, it's just up here. The level is so high, and obviously with each new generation, the starting level is higher and higher and higher. So like, but I think as you were saying, like making sure that the element of the street is still there, because I feel like that's where a lot of people find that passion and that urge to keep pushing themselves. And as we were saying, like you find these different reasons to get into parkour, but then there's a reason that you stay. There's always a reason that you stay, whether it be the social side of it, whether it be the element that you feel when you push yourself, or even just like things that you're building around, like being able to like make videos and stuff. Like Hector, obviously, as we were talking about, like he's now an amazing video director, and I don't know if he would have done that. He might have done, but like parkour really helped excel him into that
Probably
direction.
not, man. Like he was that parkour got him into that space. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
and I think, as you were saying, like parkour is so important for a lot of us. So for the idea of it to stop, or for people to drop off because there's just like a complete lack of interest, complete lack of community, like the idea is just, as you said, to keep growing it, not shrink it, like in every single aspect that we possibly can. And like visibility is a really huge one. Community is a really huge one. Culture is a really huge one. And then obviously you've got the competitive side of it. I like, because the bracket of parkour's here, and all you wanted to do is just do this, just keep expanding, keep growing. But then also keeping those core foundations there, like making sure that people love the sport and they're not just taking advantage of it or just doing it. I mean, people
Yeah.
do it for whatever reason they want, but
Grow and preserve the culture.
exactly.
Yeah, man. No, 100%.
I feel like that's a lot of what we're about. Like what we want
Yeah.
to do is grow and preserve the culture as much as we can.
Definitely. Yeah, I had this conversation with Ellis on when I did a little interview with him at OMFG, which is on the Parkour UK YouTube, and he was saying he always tries to think of what would the skill level be in 5 years and 10 years and do it now. And I'm like, yeah, that's the mindset, you know, of one of the greats. But yeah, man, I'm totally on board with all that. And finally, like, what are the goals for BENK? Because I know you guys are interested in like acting, stunts. You've got potentially merch, potentially video projects. You've got this jam. Like, what are you trying to accomplish with the team? There's so many kind of avenues.
There's a lot. I think one of the reasons we started BENK as well was just to push each other to do whatever we wanted to do.
Yeah,
So we all have
gives you an
different-
excuse, doesn't it?
So we all have different things that we want to do. We're all at different stages of life. So we're all not on that same exact level where we all want to do one project together and put down. We just want to push each other. So if one of us wants to go into one direction, we want them to succeed as much as possible, and we'll help them do that.
Okay.
And I think
So it's a
that's
means
how
to
we started.
facilitating like each person. So you're facilitating Banjo who wants to do this event.
Yeah.
Facilitate someone that wants to make their clothes, someone that wants to do stunts. So you kind of all supporting each other with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Bank helps bank. That's
Yeah.
what we like. That's what we want to do.
Come on.
Everyone, we just want to help each other. Like, if you want to pursue this, we'll help as much as we can. You want to do this, we'll help as much as we can. As long as we're all helping each other, sick.
Just build like a joint like platform that we can all like.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
collective.
things-
It's more of a collective than a
Yeah, it's a
team.
collective, yeah.
Yeah, we all want to come up together and do well and see parkour grow and yeah.
Oh, mate, that's beautiful. It's kind of just a mechanism to support each other to reach your goals.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone kind of refer to a team like that, but it's a great way to put it, man. I really look forward to this event. Like, thanks so much for coming on, guys. Yeah.
Right, thanks for having us. Yeah.
So 27th of September,
Yeah.
BENK Jam, Yard. I don't know if you put in Yard, YARD on Google Maps, it'll show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it is on there. Alternatively, IKEA.
Angusine Hotel.
Angusine Hotel,
Yeah, 'cause
perfect.
it's 2 seconds away.
You'll see it from the Angusine Hotel. Really do come down if you can. This podcast will probably be coming out like 5 or 6 days before the event. So please, if you're somewhere else in the UK, get involved. It's going to be one of the best events in the UK this year. Don't let me down now I've said that. You know, I might still be injured, to be fair, but I cannot wait just to vibe. So cheers for that, guys. Where do people find you? BENK on
BENKBOYS on Instagram.
at BENKBOYS, BENK boys.
Exactly.
Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube.
BENK
Go
Boys.
watch us go vibe in Devon. There's a video there.
Oh, so you got YouTube stuff happening as well?
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go check that out. I'll have to check that out as well. Brilliant. All right, thanks so much for coming on, guys.
And I think one last thing I wanted to say is if you're thinking about moving to London, move to South-East because
Yeah.
it's the most active part of London. And although people say London's been dead, South-East has always been booming and it's
Yeah,
going to continue to. So
I can't disagree with that. I feel like the public transport's not as good, but it's worth it for the community. So, nah, yeah, you're spot on. You know, you got Yard, you got you guys, and that's almost daily like people to really train with if you're trying to push yourself. You're trying to get some of those really good athletes from North to leave and come to London so that you know we can have London back on top.
Exactly.
John Cleveland, come to South-East,
Yeah,
mate.
trust me.
Trust me. Cheers, guys. If you want some more info on the parkour community, some more content, all that good stuff, parkour.uk, best URL in the business. Check it out. Thanks so much for coming on, guys.
thank you.
Thank you.